to you. Greetings to you all. This is Kevin Annette. I regret that I cannot be with you in the flesh today because the government and Crown of England is afraid of my presence in your country and has banned me from re-entering Stansted Airport last Sunday night. But the truth cannot be banned as easily as can one man. And we are all gathered today to bear witness to this fact. My body may be absent from you, but my spirit stands beside you today in our battle for what is right. It is truly an honour for me to have been banned and deported from a country like England, whose government and churches sponsored the extermination of millions of people around the world, and who continue colluding in concealing these crimes. But England is not her ruling elite, but rather the people themselves, people like you and my own ancestors who have always rallied and fought for what is good and just, including the protection of our lands, our sovereign liberties, and the lives and future of all our children. It is for the children that we are gathered today, to say no to a regime where over 500 children incarcerated in the foster care system can somehow go missing. 500 children who were placed in fostering in the last year have gone missing, vanished. Nobody knows where they are. And many others who are regularly and almost automatically placed in the homes of known child rapists, that we've heard already. The heroic fight of Holly Greig and her family and friends in the face of state persecution is an example of the filth we are exposing at senior levels of power in England, and also evidence of the power of the truth to move mountains when that truth is wielded by honest and persistent people. And it is your honesty and your persistence that will drive this forward. Many others today will describe how and why children in our culture are so easily abused, tortured, exploited, humiliated, belittled, and even murdered, with little or no legal or political consequence for those actions. A Christian tradition that tells us that our Mother Earth is cursed and that every child is born evil and corrupted cannot help but breed not only state and church-sanctioned child rape and torture, but genocide and ecocide as well. Our very survival as a species, as a family, now depends on our capacity to overcome that insane and murderous tradition and return to the gentle and loving natural capacities found within every newborn child. Recently, an Irish senator and Taoiseach hopeful, David Norris, was quoted as saying, "I have not the slightest interest in children, and in terms of classical paedophilia, there's something to be said for it." Yet this condoner of child torture still sits in the Irish Senate and may one day be head of the state in Ireland. In the face of such grotesque and indifferent attitudes within our official society, our institutional society, and the systemic refusal by the police and courts to seriously prosecute paedophiles and prevent their crimes, it is left now to all of us to take responsibility to defend our children when the society will not. Using our common law rights and obligations, when the courts will not act, we can and must begin performing citizens' arrests of anyone, including politicians, heads of state, and even popes who hurt or endanger children or who collude with those who do so. And from arrest, we can and must impose sentencing and judgments on these criminals to make sure that they do not harm the children of our communities ever again. Such a step requires great resolve, courage and clarity, not just once, but persistently over many, many years. But more than anything else, it needs great unity in our ranks and the involvement of masses of other citizens in direct actions to defend every aspect of our lives and the health of our planet. Last page. It is my honour to be part of this great movement with all of you. Despite my temporary barring from England, the work of our International Tribunal into crimes of church and state is continuing. On September the 16th, that tribunal will convene here in London and in many other cities worldwide to begin the process of bringing to trial those who have planned and executed crimes against humanity. The secrecy of the family courts and the way it behaves towards parents and children is a crime against humanity. I'm just going away from Kevin's speech. It is counter to the Convention on the Rights of the Child, which is an international treaty that has been signed and ratified by all nations of the United Nations apart from the USA and Somalia. And it's enforced in this country. And the secrecy in the family courts is in breach of that convention. They are illegal. Brothers and sisters, may the crystal clarity and light within my heart and mind at this time reach out to yours. And together, may we find the strength and the resolve to carry on to our promised land of justice and liberty, where all children can be raised in a world free of violence, free of this sickness, fear and subjugation. Kevin says here, during my recent incarceration in a British immigration prison, I met many brave men and women fighting on alone for their dignity and rights in the face of the brutality of a British police state. While I was with them, I was reminded of the words of George Orwell when he wrote about a fellow freedom fighter during the Spanish Civil War. When I look into your eyes, no power can disinherit, no bomb that ever bursts shatters the crystal spirit. We shall overcome. Kevin says thank you and bless you all.
Thank you, Cornelius, and thanks to Kevin. We have arrived at a sort of international moment, so I think possibly we'll go straight on to the Lithuanians who are with us today. If you are here, Beata? She's not here. All right, okay. All right. The Lithuanians have been battling this issue. It's only 3 million people in Lithuania, but they've really taken this child abuse issue to their hearts since there was a high-profile case on which got a lot of media attention. And they've actually had a conference on the issue earlier this year. So they really, hats off to the Lithuanians for leading the way internationally on this issue. Well done. Let's give them a round of support and wish them all the best with their worldwide campaign. Sorry you couldn't be with us today. So now we'll go back to the horrors of what's happening in the British family courts.